We are here. Wala lang kung mapahimong tarpulin and ano katinga. Kita 1,200 yung usara kahapon. Jesus. Naghimo na lang tarpulin na karapuin ka. Okay, bayan ako rin himo.
Nga.
Dami na po. So we are here for this purpose. Paglahin sirong utang dahil yung ticket. Anyway, today, because we are in a Marian month or Holy Rosary month, that's why we will focus everything about Mama Mary. Mingaw kayo October, no?
Nga.
Kanya to, mag-procession kita.
Doon rosary.
Event ba? Karoon na, kalau sino, relax na ka, mingaw na ako. Gawa sa mga lugar, barrio sitio na nagpista. Pero all about religiosity, wow. Nagplano ba ko kanya ito, ang gusto pa nga, kita yung ulit o mag-rosary ta from Puente o Pasarapita. Anyway, Mama Mary na may bahala. Now, painumdom di ay, number 1. Let's ask pray pa di ay, right? Ayan. Let us pray to Saint Michael. Lord Padre, Fili Crescente, Sancte Michael Angeli, defendinos in prolio contra requitam et Cecilias Diaboli, isto presidium, imperit Dios, supplicis de pecamor, toque Francis Melissa Celestis, Satana malius que espíritus malignos que ad perditionem animarum purgator in mundo, divina virtute in infernum detrode. Amen. Please be with us again next Saturday. Next Saturday, ang atong venue is Holiday Plaza na ha. Dili na sa Crown. Ganahan mo sa Crown, 38th floor. Ha? 38th floor. Dito ko pagliliin ako. Kung ginoo ko sa muli. Hindi man liyo tayo. Dahil naman kay elevator. Kasi kuya ko, magliliin mo. Nigtanan nyo yan. Nangako mo pagliliin ng ginoo. Anyway, we will be there until the November 8. But for next Saturday, I'll tell you, ato rin atong gato ang leaders of it, iko. Nanong nakuha may malik dire? So, naluod ka doon ko. Naluod yun ko. Ano man, bati, yung snack. Hindi man yun ako. Kung bati, yung snack. Mitro lang o pansang. Magtinir lang ang tusok-tusok ko. Sa do, isaan na ako do. Balik na mo dire kay Lamion din ako. Ingon mo rin, sir. Basta inikaw man sa inyong event, Manila yung imong participan. Kabantay ha. So, naratay ticket and kay tawagan ni doon na may nikuan. So, tag 200 na ni para sunod sa doon. Dili to 50. Ang para next sa tubig is 200. If you can buy now, the better. Okay, bili na ko ni John ang ticket. So, next sa tubig sa itong istoryahan, live life, defend life with Congressman Lito Atienza. He will be with us next Saturday. Ang iyang i-discuss, kung sa iyang giparugan dito sa Kongreso, anong kalos Ginoo, si Congressman Lito Atienza mo hinungdan nga wak kapasar ang medical marijuana. Siya ginili dasmag. Siya po hinungdan wak kapasar ang gay rights, ang gay marriage bill. Una, ibalik naman sa so istirahan taniya nga nung di ni pwede. Ako, may istorya ko sa medical point of view. After my short introduction, and Congressman Lito na yung istorya, all the rest. Okay? So, again, the tickets are here, or you can reserve kung wala mo kadaog 200. Anyway, the tickets are prepared. Diyan. Next. Ang atong sabot, October 23, 24, ato sa Golden Prince. Yato wala pa ka-decision, wala pa ka kuha ng registration. Join ka mo. Senior ko na, di ba ka, ang regular rate 2,200. Ang senior rate 1,500 ra. Magsugod ka na City Media, City Media ba ito? Ang sudsog. With the mass ni Father Balili, mahuman ka alas 7 gabi, kay manihapon man. Sulit yun. Yan napatay, na ako gibitar nga kanta-kanta. Moingon nga, kinsa mo request sa kanta ng 1950. Nagtao na niya. 1960, karang itong mutukar yun, siya tawagan na eh. Expert ka na ba? Duha na sila, amahano ka na, pato, kantaan na niya. Ini-request song, iwan to as, ikakanta nila. Moral lang jukebox. Nanawagin, makanta nila. So let's enjoy life. So this will be our, as I said, kami mga doktor, among ginigihimo every year. Pero first time na Caritas Cebu, balik-balik sa Manila. So I am the one na nag-organize Caritas Cebu, and ang topics, as you have said, dili pang doktor, kung dili pang ordinaryong katoliko. Dili ta mag-istorya kambal, ang atong istoryahan all about bioethics, life ethics, nganong tao ta, nganong respetahan ng tao, nganong dili pwede ang naay mga dili nga transplantation, implantation, at so na support, kanang IVF, in vitro fertilization, nganong di na siya pwede. So muna ang mga usa sa mga diskusyon. And mas inspired mo abot mo tambong si Bishop Pastes. Siya speaker sa second day para sulit na sa following day. Again, sa itong wala pa ka kuha o registration form na si John, get it, I'll give you until next Saturday na tag 1,005. After that, balik na kita sa 2,200. Pero doktor, di kami pahangyo. 2,200 din na. Okay. Pero, murag doktor. Basta ha, katong nakasign ha, puhon ini ka 23, pagin mo ka ng murag sa mga dating ba, murag nurse, murag sa dintit, murag sa puiti-puti, dating, hambong sa ta. Okay? So again, we are ready until August 15 sa 1,500 for this event. Tell other people about this event. Next. Medyo na. Okay. Now, nga mong nagsilibra ganita ron o October Rosary Month?
October 13 sa Kuan,
Ngawas ana.
Katolibanto.
That's the biggest reason. So, para makasabot doon na tayo video na 15 minutes to explain this thing.
The story of Our Lady of Victory and the Battle of Lepanto is a historic event that changed the fate of the Western world and saved Christianity from the Muslim invasion. It is of such importance that every Catholic should know how it affected history, and it was through the intercession of Our Lady once more that this miraculous battle was won. Thus, the title of Our Lady of Victory, since God gave us the victory through the hands of the Virgin Mary and the praying of the Rosary throughout Europe. How much more do we need her help today for the whole world? The Battle of Lepanto was a naval combat that took place between the ships of the Holy Catholic League under Don Juan of Austria and the navy of the Ottoman Empire under Ali Pasha. supported by a large fleet of corsairs. The Ottoman Empire was far too powerful for any one Christian kingdom to stand against. And although all of Western Europe was threatened, only Spain and the Papal States, the territory of Savoy, the Republic of Venice, the Republic of Genoa, and the Knights of St. John took a stand against them. Altogether, they still had only 212 ships against no less than 278 ships of the Muslims. Pope St. Pius V formed the original Holy League in response to the dire situation in which Christian Europe found itself in 1571. Small bands of Catholic men and remnant armies from various nations came together under the spiritual leadership of the saintly pontiff and the military leadership of Don Juan of Austria. When St. Pius V ascended to St. Peter's throne, Christendom faced dangers perhaps unequaled in its history of continual conflict, not the least of which came from the agitated and violent followers of Muhammad. St. Pius V, the Dominican prelate, before his elevation, did what Catholics have always done in times of acute danger, flying into the arms of the most powerful Mother of God. As a follower of St. Dominic, he knew the most effective means of imploring help was through the recitation of the Holy Rosary. He ordered all monasteries and convents in Rome to increase their prayers for the impending battle and organized rosary processions in which he, as sick as he was, participated. All the information that Pope Pius V had been gathering indicated that the Ottoman force was about to sail across the Mediterranean and adjacent lands, spearheaded by the Turkish fleet, with Italy and Rome as one of its targets. No nation could stand up to the predatory infidels, and the candidates for an alliance were few. Northern Europe had risen up in armed rebellion against the Church, with France deeply involved in the conflict. While much of Europe felt that neutrality was the best policy to follow, only Spain and Venice had the resources to resist, and they hated each other, along with a deep mistrust. Yet, St. Pius V, calling down divine grace as only a man of prayer could, forged an alliance with them as the core of an organized fleet of 212 ships. He not only kept them unified, but he convinced them to attack the surrounding threat. The Archbishop of Mexico had an exact copy of the Holy Image of Guadalupe, sent to King Philip II, who in turn gave it to Andrea Doria, one of the three principal admirals of the fleet, who placed it in his cabin. When the Armada went from file to line in a row and attacked on the morning of October 7, 1571, the blue standard of Our Lady was also flying from the masthead of Don Juan's flagship, but Our Lady's presence that day was more acutely felt through the Holy Rosary. For hundreds of years, the Ottoman Empire had been making advances into Europe, while also making lightning raids along the coastlines to pillage and take slaves. They intended to eventually overwhelm all of Europe, and at that time, Catholics stood almost alone and divided against them, as no Protestant force would do anything to oppose the invasion. The advantage in this event went strongly to the Turks, and so Pope Pius V implored all of Christendom to pray the Rosary to the Blessed Virgin Mary to obtain her intercession before the throne of God for their victory. Admiral Andrea Doria sailed to meet the Turks with the image of the Blessed Virgin of Guadalupe prominently displayed in his flagship stateroom. The Venetian forces on Cyprus had been under siege by the Turks during the time that the Catholic forces were preparing to meet them. On August 1st, 1571, they surrendered after being assured that they could leave the island free and unopposed. The Ottoman commander broke his solemn oath. However, taking the Venetians captive and peeling the skin of their captain while he was yet alive. Once he had completed this unspeakable torture, the captain's dead body was hung from a pole on Mustafa's flagship alongside the heads of all the Venetian commanders. This was the type of barbarism the Catholic forces sailed to oppose. As the Christian fleet sailed toward the great clash of cultures, Mass was celebrated and the Rosary recited daily on each vessel. This heartfelt request for divine assistance resulted in a crushing defeat of the Ottomans at Lepanto. By prayer and fasting, they implored the help of God's grace through the intercession of the Mother of God. And by the grace of Almighty God, on October 7, 1571, at the Battle of Lepanto, the Christian fleet won a crushing victory over the Ottoman Turks, saving Christendom and Western civilization until our days. Don Juan of Austria encouraged his men by telling them that there is no paradise for cowards. If they should lose the battle, the Mediterranean Sea would be opened up to assist future Ottoman invasions. Victory would mean at least a brief reprieve. The Ottoman Turks had not lost any significant naval battles in the memory of any living men, yet they were defeated. It was widely recognized that the battle was won through the power of Mary, Our Lady of Victory. The Turks had come up like fire from the east, plundering, raping, enslaving, threatening to rule over the whole of Christendom, but had been defeated at Lepanto through the power of the Rosary. The Turks had lost nearly 9 of every 10 ships, and 30,000 men went to a watery grave. The Holy League lost only 17 ships and 7,500 men. Many historians rank Lepanto as the most decisive naval engagement since the Battle of Actium in 31 BC, proving to the Christians that the Turks could be beaten. Although the Turks soon rebuilt their fleet, many of their best soldiers and sailors were already dead at Malta and Lepanto, and they could not be easily replaced. To celebrate Our Lady's intercession, St. Pius V designated October 7 as the Feast of the Holy Rosary and added Help of Christians, Auxilium Christianorum, to the litany of Our Lady of Loreto. While the noise of battle gradually diminished at the bloody waters of Lepanto, St. Pius V was going over accounts in the papal apartments with Bartolomeo Busotti, his treasurer. Suddenly, he arose with his face radiant with joy and announced, "Let us go to thank God. For this moment, our fleet has defeated the Turks." Human agency brought news to Rome only 2 weeks later. The news filled the Christian world with joy, but nowhere more than at Rome, in thanksgiving to the Mother of God for her help, Glorious solemn and typical ceremonies of gratitude were held in the Basilica of St. Mary. Some may object to the historical example, not that it is inappropriate, but that it happened a long time ago. Yet, the Blessed Virgin made another historical visit to Earth just 100 years ago, bringing roughly the same message to a larger distressed population. As Our Lady of the Rosary, she appeared 6 times at Fatima in Portugal to 3 small children. To hear the full story of Fatima, you can find it in another video of my channel. Today, other more sinister errors eat at the heart of Christian culture. Naturalism undermining man's faith in God. Communism is Mary's enemy. It transforms the state into a god to which man must be sacrificed. Men are children of God, sons of Mary, not slaves of the state. The Virgin Mary warned us that God was terribly offended by the sins of mankind, and unless that sinfulness subsided, the world as a consequence would face horrible chastisements. We had a bloody World War I, then 6 years of the most depraved slaughter of World War II, in continual wars, atrocities and mutilations ever since instigated by 2 of the enemies of Western civilization, communism, as Our Lady predicted, and Islam. Sinfulness is not decreased, on the contrary, but only increased, especially in the areas of family life, immoral fashions, and depraved entertainment. Against the errors of our time, we must appeal to Mary. She is our guide, our queen of victories and of peace. For her and for her blessed Son we struggle, and on her powerful intercession with the Prince of Peace we place our trust. The battle today is not against human forces, but against the principalities and powers, the rulers of this world of darkness, the evil spirits in the skies. Our Lady will intervene once again in history, either to help her suffering children who have recourse to her, or to bring down the wrath of God on those who refuse to pray, make sacrifices and stop offending God. During the 3rd apparition at Fatima, she announced the ultimate result. Finally, my immaculate heart will triumph. Like Don Juan of Austria told his men, there is no paradise for cowards. We need leaders and courageous men now more than ever to fight not just for their families, but for all of the Christian civilization. The Admirals of Lepanto were just a few men who put their trust to God and Our Lady and risked their lives and everything under the leadership of a holy Pope who did not wait to call on Christians to fight for the good of all. So let us keep the faith and have courage. We know God wins in the end. Pray the Rosary every day as the Mother of God has asked us to do. It is our most powerful.
Do you understand? Did you understand everything said there? Di mo klaro? Ang klaro ro bitato na unsang tuigan ni suod ang Protestantism 1571. Kanusan ipakita si Mama Mary sa Guadalupe 1531. Kanusan ay tabo ang Battle of Lepanto 1571. So muna ang history. Ending, ang shooting Ma'am Mary na ang atong kalaban ron, the evils of communism plus Muslim. Islam. the Islam, and communism. Ang communism, walang Diyos. Ang Islam, lahi ng Diyos. So we really have to do a lot more prayers. At this point in time, warrior Manta Mama Mary, ipakita ko na inyong Armalite. Okay? Daban yung Armalite? Proudly, it is our Armalite, Mama Mary. 24 oras ang muning ida, adlo-adlo ang muning ipangaji. As you requested at Fatima, 105 years ago na mundo. Oh my God. Proudly raised it up and said, Hail Mary! Hail Mary! Hail Mary! Thank you, Iksun. Parahin ko, 2 minutes na lang. Now, of course, you know, atong situation is not normal. Kagahapon, nag-solar flare. Sumanang solar flare. Intense local eruption of electromagnetic radiation of the sun. Buka, huwag na para kag magluto kita o saan. Kalayo o kalit. Hinay na saan, muna yung flare. Examples of flare. It's like this. No? Pila man ay kaadlaw mabot ang solar flare sa kalibutan? 3 days. Kanusa mo kawat ang epekto? Another 3 days. Kung sa main effect sa solar flare. This is ang unang epekto, modaghan ang aurora borealis. Nga naman, kay solar flare, ang unang may go ang ionosphere. Ion, muna magsiga siya, colorful kayo, green, light blue, etc. Okay, this is what we call as aurora borealis or the northern lights. Pero, based on science, mukusog ka niyang solar flare, gawas na mo igo ang ionosphere, manamog na sa nato sa ilawang sa dagat. Ang effect sa resulta, mga active ang volcano. Mukalit o mapukaw ang mga bulkan. O mudaghan ang kalit ang linog. So we will expect earthquakes for the next 6 days. Okay. Kunya, gimok-gimok ang mga bulkan. So may nabalita kagabi, nilihok ang bulkan sa Mayon, nilihok ang bulkan sa Bulusan, nilihok ang bulkan sa Tagaytay. Ang ipaabot na to, ang kanlaon na lang, kung ang himok-himok sa Camiguin, kung ang Mount Apo dito sa Davao. So, matrigger tungkol sa solar flare. This is scientifically proven. There will be earthquakes all over the world na dili. Ang earthquake, Mato Manila, ang pinakahina is 4.5. Ngayon na kami ngon, linog na siguro. Ito ang linog, 4.5. Kung 7.5, lupad na gawin. Sa montan, umabot na ng 8, o para matakasuway na ng 8, atong nasuwayan, 7.2 na yun. Okay? Now, based on the scientist data, mao ni mga areas na makat suway o linog karon next week. It's practically Asia, ubos sa Davao, and so on and so forth. But the scientists said, doon na kayo mga linog, but we don't know exactly where. Okay, asa napita nga, maglihok pa ng tanang mga fault lines, ibuong kalibutan. So, including America, including Europe, it can happen
the big
anywhere.
one.
So, as I said, nag-red alert na po ang Mayon. Red alert na sa ng Bulusan. On the other hand, nahilom na ba doon ang Ukraine o Russia? Sitting wars every day. Usa na naging paabot nila. Kamulihok na si Putin o ipalupad na niya ang nuclear bomb. Magsugod ka ng lupad ang nuclear bomb, ningon ang Europe, tanang nasod sa Europe will respond. Inag-respond na tago na lang tas bismen.
Nga ba taguan? Ang nakitaguan.
Buhay bismen, apoy-koy ta. Amoy-koy ta. Okay, if that really happened, morning ang gisulti ni Biden kahapon, he was talking of nuclear Armageddon. When you say nuclear Armageddon, dili na Russia, Ukraine, all over the world. Pagkalit-kalit naman na, Iran will fight back. Yang igo ng Amerika. Turkey will fight back. India will fight back. Japan will fight back. South Korea will fight back. Kita mo fight back sa ta. Paanda ng Pilipinas? Ang sarap na itong pabutbol. Buwan? Basta manimawas tunay ka. So, well, parang ako, I don't know, whether muna nga, dili pa taong klaro maka-experience ba tag White Christmas is not yet clear. Although, 88 na lang kaadlaw, Pasko na, but not yet clear. It will have a beautiful White Christmas. Or it will be a Black Christmas. Let us pray. So, for the meantime, we must respond to the call of the Blessed Virgin Mary. Mama Mary said, the soul which recommend itself to me by the resident rosary shall not perish. Ang mga tao nga mo entras sa kuguling, kumusali sa kuguling, narikanako, pinagi sa kurasariwan, dili gyud mapapas, mahanaw. Meaning, panalipdan ka, ining-abot aning mga panahon na. Labi na kung nagsugod ng buto-buto ang mga nuclear bomb niya, sige sa kakanan na si kurasariwan. Sharo. Just like what happened in Japan, di ba? Nagasaki, Hiroshima, paghakbong bomba, ano sa tibok siyudad na 12 kilometers, 12 kilometro, na pagkinabilin nga building. Ang puyanan sa mga Jesuit nga mga pare, wag sila mumsa. All the rest full book yun because everybody were consecrating themselves to the Immaculate Heart of Mary and praying the Rosary every day. Panaligdan juta. That's assurance din ang taga-rosaryo kung dili tinuod iyang saan. Next. St. Louis de Montfort said, when the Holy Rosary is said well. Saan ang is said well? At may Maria ko sa grasya, ginawa na kanimo. Oy, ang ginong kagapit na biya na magkwan diya. Santa Maria, inan sa Diyos niya. Kung kayo magkasala, karong sa alas ko tayo. Ayo! At ko sa tunay palit na kustindahan. Agimay ka Maria, puro sa grasya. Ano na hindi? You pray the rosary well. No? It gives Jesus and Mary more glory and is more meritorious than any other prayer. Amiga. Labi ng pinahilo na yun. Niya magdupa mo yun ka. Nagluhod mo yun. Amiga. Times 3 mang effect. Then, Mama Mary said, according to Padre Pio, love the Madonna, love our mother, and pray the rosary, for the rosary is the weapon against all evils of the world today. All grace is given by God, passed through the Blessed Virgin Mary. Pagkabulahan ng mga Katoliko, direct to God, isunod na may mediatrix of all grace. Diha may pagawas ang negative ang kabuntagon sa kaluwasan pinagi sa taguangkan ni Maria. Finally, St. Maximilian Kolbe said, you want to know the real Catholics are? Kinsa mga tinuray Katoliko? Easy. Observe the relationship with the Mother of God. Kristiyano ka? Huwag ka kailang Maria? Kristiyano ka? Imong lunan ang ngalan ni Maria? Uy, Makainom ko ni Brother Wendell, muna gitawag niya mga walking pusis. Kay mahadlok sa dagway ni Maria, mahadlok sa pangalan ni Mama Mary. Bantay ta, kay daghang kayo ron. Ang bawang yawa is so clever. So, our promise starting today, we will pray the Rosary. Now we will end with the prayer of Hail Mary in Latin. Ave Maria, gracia plena, Dominus tecum, benedicta tu in mulieribus et benedictus fructus ventris tui, Jesus. Santa Maria, Mater Dei, ora pro nobis peccatoribus non in et hora mortis nostri. Amen. Let's pray. Make a promise, make a pledge that you will pray the Rosary daily. Kung makaya ni mo 3 times a day, pagkanindutan. But at least daily, pray the Rosary. Atong pakpakan si Mama Mary. Thank you, Blessed Mother Mary. Salamat kanimo namong nagitong inahan. Mato pa ni San Juan Bautista, I must decrease, He must increase. Manawag na ko, mapuli na si Brother Ali.